Hey folks, it's Abby from Abby of Pellinor, and today I'm going to be taking a look through my hold-in books from the first quarter of the year. Some of these I've read, some of these I haven't. Some of these were gifted to me, some of them I bought myself. Nice little mix. I'm going to go month by month, we'll take a look through them. Let's get started with January. Concerningly, at just 6 books, January is the smallest month out of these 3. So I'm going to start off with 3 books that were gifted to me as belated Christmas presents from Caitlin from Manchester Rabbit. We have Odin's Child by Siri Pettersen. This is a Norwegian author, I believe, and was recommended to me from Veronica from Veronica's Shelf, who adores this series. It's been translated into English. I need to read it. It looks amazing. Then we have Natives by Akala, which is a non-fiction all about race and class in the ruins of empire. And then we have The Sudden Appearance of Hope by Claire North, who writes a fantastic mixing of reality and fantastical worlds combined. This is all about a girl who disappears from the world. Her parents forget who she is, her family forgets who she is, and that's all I know. And Caitlin also got me Passing by Nella Larson. This is a very small classic written by a black woman in... It would really help if I knew this. When was Passing written? First published in 1929. Took me long enough. And this is about 2 different black women. One who lives in a black community, married a black man, does a thing, and the other who pretends that she is white, has married a white man who is actually pretty racist, lives in a white community. They're both light skinned, so they both could have went either way, and it's just kind of looking at the impacts that has had on both of their lives, on their interactions with their communities and with each other. There are some sapphic undertones throughout this short little book, and I did not expect where this went at all. I've already read it, it's amazing. And then the other 2 books, I think I said 3 and Olivia gave me 4. I'm sure she gave me all 4 of those. I think she did. Anyway, the other 2 books out of the 6 were both from the Illumicrate box that month, so I've read them both. The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman is an Indian-inspired fantasy. I loved this. I loved the 4 different points of view and the magic that's present in the world. I'll definitely be carrying on with this series. And then This Woven Kingdom by Tahira Mafi, I gave 2 stars and was so bad it was like watching a car crash and I couldn't put it down. It was weird. This is supposed to be about a girl who is like the long lost queen sort of thing, hidden in a kingdom that hates her, like her enemy kingdom, and she doesn't know this, and she's very powerful but she's also not powerful at all, and it's a bit of a mess. This has advised me that I do not like Tahira Mafi's writing. I'm tempted to continue with the series, but we'll see. So yes, that is January. Now to look at the books that I got in February. Then in February we move on to books that I bought myself. Let's start off with the Illumicrate book this time, and that is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This is a historical fantasy set in the remote islands of Scotland, and it's absolutely beautiful, both inside and out. I adored this book. I will say that I don't think the character development was done perfectly, and I think that it was a little bit too easily set up for the second book in the duology. It was just very much clearly intended for that. But despite that, I loved this. It was such a fun book to read, and I'm 100% picking up the next one. But yes, that was the Illumicrate one. And then I have gift cards on Amazon, so I thought, you know what, I'll finally get some books. So I bought all of these. So first up is This Vicious Cure by Emily Sabata. It's the 3rd book in the Mortal Coil trilogy. This starts off in a world where if you get this certain disease you'll explode and the flesh is poisonous and it transmits that way, and there is genetic coding that you can do via, I think it's an input on your arm, that you can alter your own DNA. So good. Very excited to read this. The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This is a society where if the Memory Police decide that birds no longer exist, then not just birds won't exist anymore, but any memories of them will be completely erased from your brain and you will have no recollection, and they can do this with anything. So this is a translated Japanese fiction, shortlisted for the International Booker Prize in 2020. Very excited. then some series. So I'd actually already read the first book in this one, and that is the Daughters of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. But Daughters of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I read this in a second-hand copy I got from a charity shop and enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I ever would. I loved it, so I was like, okay, at some point I want to get these covers that I really like. So I dove for it, I went and got them, so I finally have. They're very pretty covers. And then a 4-book series that I bought all of the books, despite the fact that I haven't read any of them, and that is the Grossling series by Kristin Kershaw. Carrie from Caring for Books adores these, so does Veronica from Veronica's Shelf. So I thought, why not? It's a YA fantasy series, so is that one, just that one's a little bit more romance based, I think. And yes, I don't really know too much, but I just thought I'd delve in, you know? Just give it a go and see how it turns out. So hopefully I actually enjoy these. And these are all the books that I got in March, so I'm going to put these down and let's dive in. First up, 3 that were gifted to me by Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe. She was unhauling them and asked if I wanted any of the ones she was unhauling, and I picked these. First up we have Mrs. Death by Selena Godden. This is a novel written in verse, all about death. Then we've got the Earthsea Quartet, the first 4 books in the series by Ursula K. Le Guin. This is a high fantasy series that is considered kind of the first one written by a woman. And then lastly from Olivia, for this month, is Across the Wall by Garth Nix. This is a collection of short stories written within the Sabriel series. I've only read Sabriel, but I fucking adored it. So she knows this and she was like, would you like this one? Yes. Thank you. I'm very excited to read this. The only reason I haven't is because I need to wait until I've read all the other books. Then gifted to me by Renee from Renee Reads, that is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. This is my first ever Sanderson. Ever. Thank you, Renee, for fixing the gap in my life. I really need to read this. Then we have 3 books from Carrie, from Caring for Books. The first one is Beowulf by Maria Davana Headley, a brand new translation. And then we have 2 books in the Never Tilting World duology, The Never Tilting World and The Ever Cruel Kingdom. She got me these because of the necklace that came in one of the Illumicrate boxes, and I said that the story sounded interesting. It does, so very excited to read those. I will say I have heard some things about Rinchbecko being racist online towards black people, so I need to look into that further, please be aware of that. And then The Beowulf is a brand new feminist translation that is really modern, really up to date. I read it and I loved it. It was so, so good. And then my last 2 books for this month and for this haul were both from book boxes. So we have Illumicrates, which is Gallant by V.E. Schwab, and Goldsboroughs, which is the embroidered book by Kate Hartfield. I loved the embroidered book so much, so much. Gallant was fine, unfortunately. So Gallant is about a young girl who lives in an orphanage, and she's then like goes to this magical home that belongs to her family. She discovers there's a dark side. She's got to do shit with it. This didn't have enough development. This is a historical fantasy set in 1768 following Mary Antoinette and her sister Charlotte, and it's beautiful. It's so well researched, and the magic system is unique to anything else that I've ever seen, and it's just done so well. This is a beauty inside and out. And those are all of the books that I got in March. Ta-da! Now theoretically, oh god, I'm going to drop these. Theoretically I should hold up all the books that I got in all 3 months, but as you can see that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to try and find a way to put these down. Could have went worse. Okay, so those are all the books that I ended up with over the past 3 months. It's a ridiculous amount, and if you couldn't tell, most of them are from my lovely, amazing friends. So thank you so much to all of you who've given me a book. You don't have to, you don't need to. It's never a requirement, but I am very grateful nonetheless that you did. I have enjoyed the ones that I've read so far, and I'm really looking forward to reading some more. Let me know down below, have you read any of these? Are any of these on your TBR? Like, let me know. I want to have a chat about them, because I just love bringing in new books. I should read what I have, but it's so fun to bring in new books. Thank you so much for watching, folks. If you'd like to see some more from me and see if I actually read these books that I haven't read yet, please do hit subscribe down below to follow my content, and hit like if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!